Yeah, those lizards I explained in the Reignite trilogy. They don't say lizards.
They don't look like lizards. They look more like awkward otters.
Yeah, that or otters and stuff. That's what I originally, before I paid attention.
Sounds like Sylvester's got zoomies.
Yeah.
He stood there for a little bit.
But like we what am I trying to say here? Shoot. Yeah, they don't say lizards to me. They just, it's because of their mouths are not out. They're inward.
Well, they don't say anything to me. They say meow.
Yeah. Like and before I paid attention to what they were, I thought they were like otters or squirrels or something.
How did I just do that?
I don't know, maybe you suck.
So if you press and hold X before going over a ramp, you treat it more like a half pipe, not a ramp.
A half pipe.
A what?
A half pipe. Just saying it weird.
A half pipe.
Wow. So
a redneck skateboarder. See, that's what I want to see.
So I'm trying to say here, Lord Farquaad in the original Shrek. Before I actually watched the whole movie, I thought he had more involvement in the movie. He really didn't. Like, he was there.
He existed.
He was there sometime, like in the beginning. He was a little more involved, but like, I don't know, his
some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Yeah. But like, I've never actually watched the whole movie until like a few weeks ago, as of this recording.
I rewatched the first half of the 1998 Matthew Broderick Inspector Gadget. Huge fan as a kid, and there was that weird period where like there was so much Gadget stuff, like freaking McDonald's. If you collected all the toys, it would build an Inspector Gadget, but each piece of him was like a functional piece of something.
Yeah.
That movie is a fracking fever dream. Holy crap. And there are so many erection jokes in that film. But like, it's a kid's movie, so it's just things like, you know, Dr. Brown bends over, and so like, you know, you can kind of tell her, you see the shape of her butt in the kind of pants she's wearing.
Yeah.
And so like, Inspector Gadget will have an outburst of like a monkey noise. Just, you know, be like, oh, it was a mistake. Like, it just stuff like that. It was like, this is a kid's movie.
Was that one Disney?
Yeah, I didn't know it was Disney.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I know the second one was Disney.
Or maybe Disney bought the first one, because there is like, oh no, it might have been, the first one still might have been Disney, because the car, like the Gadget Mobile, makes a joke about it being a Disney movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which, let me tell you, like, yeah, there were some like bad CG effects in that movie, but gosh, the first Inspector Gadget live action was way better.
Yeah.
Like, it tried to use practical effects where possible.
Yeah.
And they looked okay. Yeah, they were goofy and over the top, but I think that they knew it was goofy and over the top and played with it really well.
Yeah. The
second one, on the other hand, was awful. Like, Matthew Broderick wasn't even in it. There were like no original characters of any kind.
No original characters?
Not original. I mean, no returning characters.
Huh.
Like, nobody returned to play their old part.
Well, maybe they looked at the scripts and What about Jason X?
Yeah, weird.
Disney's Jason X. I don't know.
Disney's Jason X? I'm waiting for it. Oh, we need the crappily animated Jason cartoon. It's just some allegory for coming out of the closet.
Oh, and the animation has to be really weird now. Nothing has to be weird, but like also cheap looking, and you know, like what they're doing with the new Flintstones cartoon, which it's not even called Flintstones. Was it Yabba Dabba Dinosaur or whatever?
Yabba Donna.
Where like it's more so
Yabba Donna do.
Yeah. Now you're time. Now you can't screw around or screw up a lot like you had been.
Oh heck yeah.
So I've learned that whenever you're recording, you gotta go a little quicker. Which can somewhat affect your...
Joke's on you. Sonic says gotta go quick.
Gotta go Nesquik. Brought to you by Nesquik. Gotta go...
I need somebody to make a Nesquik picture, but it's Cream the Rabbit instead of the Nesquik Bunny.
Oh, I'm sure you've got some.
I need that to exist. Like right here and now.
You gotta do it!
Because it'd be really funny to see.
Yeah. So, Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, it's Sonic, yeah.
Yeah. So...
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. So, in this game, they actually make a reference to Sonic.
Oh, you can't fall off the board.
Yeah, you can't fall off the board.
Dang it. You don't feel bad for me, you douchebag. You're just holding back an egg.
I think in this game, Hunter at one point says, if you talk to him at one point, he says, you may get all the eggs, but I get all the chicks, or something like that. I don't think that
he gets Alora, and I mean, that's all he really wants.
Alora? No, he gets Bianca.
Bianca. No, sorry, I meant Spyro.
Spyro, yeah.
That's who I meant.
Yeah.
Spyro gets...
Yeah,
Spyro gets Hunter. All the chicks, I mean...
Yeah. Anyway,
Spyro 3 is, in fact, the best anime.
Playing, shoot. Yeah, there's a lot of debate, divide between the Spyro fan base of the original games, where they like the original trilogy the best, like all the games they think are good. There's a divide between people who think that Spyro 2 is the best, and people who think Spyro 3 is the best, and a small portion that think that Spyro 1 is the best. But it's not like the smallest portion of the Spyro fan base, because you've got very few. You got the minority that thinks maybe like Spyro Hero's Tale is the best, or the Legend of Spyro series is the best, you know.
Legend of Spyro was really neat. Okay, that was actually an accident.
The first game was the best one because it was the most varied in terms of like environments and all that stuff. The second one, you spent a mass majority of it in like one location, which is like a pirate ship or something. Like you spend like
how big was that ship?
I mean, like you mostly just did fights and stuff, and then you escape at one point. I remember playing through it, I was like, "Is this it?" You know. And then like you basically go through like all together maybe 4 worlds, or yeah, maybe. It's just that the pirate place took forever. Now, granted, the original Legend of Spyro had only like 6 or 7 levels because they're super long. And if you're hammering, I apologize, but anyway, so
I still think one of the most interesting aspects, dang it, of the Legend of Spyro was the fact that every enemy had a name.
Yeah, that was interesting. It really feels like they just pulled out a name randomizer and just went with that.
I mean, regardless, that's still really strange.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know any other game that does that.
I mean, this game has names for each dragon, but yeah.
Well, that's different. They're dragons, but not enemies.
Yeah.
But that does also mean that enemies are limited. It's not like they just respawn.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I think this hammering is starting to distract me.
Now, like, okay, so the way I see it, the first Legend of Spyro was actually good. The third one is okay altogether, because while there's some cool concepts, it got to a point where I was like, I just want to be done with this. And like I just said about the second one, it's the weakest of the trilogy.
I need to play those games. Is there any one console that they're all on?
PS2.
Oh, let me guess. I'm gonna have a really hard time finding them.
They're expensive these days. Now the only one.
How expensive?
Like at the store we go to, where they have games and stuff. SCE. That one is. I saw it on 360 for $44.99.
I'll take them all on PS2.
Well, I don't know where it is. I didn't see it on PS2. I think I did at one point, but it's also it's expensive for a PS2 game, basically. That isn't like an anime game, you know.
Yeah, not like Dot Hack.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Copies of Dot Hack, complete like booklet and all copies of Dot Hack Quarantine is the fourth one.
Yeah.
Go for like $400
awesome.
on eBay. Like I'm not even exaggerating. $400.
What about Einhander?
Used. I mean, Einhander is not cheap.
Yeah, it's not cheap, which is...
I wish I'd gotten my hands on Air Guys when I had the chance. That fighting game where you can use Cloud and Tifa.
Yeah, and I hear that game's not very good, but...
Oh, it's not. But man, is it worth some money. And it's still fun to play as Cloud and Tifa in a fighting game that's not...
That's not Dissidia?
Yeah, it's not Dissidia or friggin' Smash Brothers.
Well, you can't play as Tifa in Smash Bros.
I mean, if you hack it, you could.
Whoa! Let's see, I can't remember... Daisy. Oh yeah, the course record.
You get egg for that?
You don't get an egg. I think you just get a skill point if you beat the time or the points or whatever. Desire. Did you get? Oh yeah, you can't tell yet if you have all the eggs because they. So in Spyro 2, Sparks you automatically have the ability to. They don't tell you about it. It's like supposed to be a secret in that game. But if you hold all the shoulder buttons, Sparks will point out to you you know. So go free Sheila, or we'll first get everything in the hub world. By the way, there is going to be a point where you'll need to play the hunter missions in the second world before doing other types of levels, because if you remember, Hunter gets captured at one point in the third world. I mean, not the second one, the third one. Yeah, that's kind of, like, we found cheats to be able to, earlier we found cheats to be able to get all the excuse me, have the ability for Sparks to locate the gems early. We found a cheat, put it in, didn't work.
Yeah, so I broke the disc.
And how you're seeing it being played right now, I don't know.
I'm actually describing it so vividly, you think you're seeing it on your screen.
Oh, okay. Go do the Sheila level. Actually, I'm gonna do the Sheila level.
Piece of crap.
Spyro!
He sounds different.
Why are you gonna spend the gems that I got?
Because I'm wife.
Well, my wishes went into step after you left, so I came here and struck up a nice deal with the local sorceress. Lovely woman she is. Seems to be very fond of dragons, too. I'm getting...
Yeah, he's definitely more like, I don't know if, yeah, greedy or whatever in this game.
Ah, Spyro, I love your sweet naivete. Your kind-hearted nature might be your downfall someday, but for the time being, it's making me rich.
Yeah, what about how they did this for the cutscenes? Like, look at Moneybags there. He looks really weird. Well, he looks weird in general in this scene.
I hope you appreciate this favor I'm doing in letting you out.
That's good of you, mate. No hard feelings, eh?
Right. After all, I'm just doing my job.
I reckon you'd be one of them dragons then.
Yeah, name's Spyro.
Never thought I'd see one. You dragons used to rule this entire world, you know. Then all of a sudden you left. Whew,
Dragons used to live here?
didn't you know? They say it was over 1,000 years ago, I think.
And they just left?
Yeah, and the weird thing is, after they left, all the magic in the world just sort of went with them. I mean, they say this world used to have magic coming out the wazoo.
She's a lot
Flying
more adorable
ships,
in the
singing
remake,
forests,
actually.
wishing
She's got
stones,
the
you
little
name it.
backpack.
But when the dragons left, it all just dried up.
Is that why some of the portals don't work?
Yeah, they're starting to fade out too, one by one. Well, I gotta get back home and do some damage control. Come visit anytime you like.
Alright. Yeah, and also they actually made it look like that she's a female. In this one, you could just interpret it as any. So this one's more progressive. I'll show you that. Yeah, for some reason, like, whenever they stopped making whenever Insomniacs, the reason they stopped on this one is they said, well, we don't know what else to do with this character, so we're just not going to do it anymore.
Thanks again, Spyro. Now I have to find out what that nasty sorceress has done to my home while I was locked up.
Hiya, Sheila. Yeah, and in the Reignited trilogy, they made the characters look slightly different from each other. They made like each one like in this game would be like, you know, the same looking, have the same voice and stuff. They at least, you know, were like, hey, you know.
Follow Bobby and Pete up there using your air harp. It's easy, just press the X button again at the top of your jump.
They don't say the X button in the Reignited trilogy. They say action. Or the
Action
jump. Or the
button.
jump. Okay, it's the jump button actually, but
Action.
A for action. What? By the way, there's a particular cheat I'm going to be putting in real quick. Hold on. Also, editing me. This is, you don't have to skip this part because I'll be talking as I'm doing this. Because, like, unlike Andrew here, I understand that there's reasonable difficulty.
Yeah, of course it's reasonable difficulty. It's just not this game. I mean, this game is not that difficult.
Alright. There we go. Now the game is slightly... I'm not exactly sure what causes the game to get more difficult or easier. Like, what changes to make it easier. It's just kind of one of those things that, like, you know... But I would rather have an option for difficulty. If I want to play easy, I should be able to just select it. If I want to play harder, I should just be able to select it, you know? Also, I like to enjoy games, so that's why I don't have them on the harder difficulty. Only people with, like, no real life purpose in their life have, you know, have it on harder.
Home at last. Here, I was saving this to make an omelet, but I think you deserve it more.
Oh yeah, what about in this one? This is the one where you can hit the NPCs. Attack them.
Wait, you can NPCs what?
Look, like this, remember?
Oh yeah. Yeah, can you not do that in the Reignited trilogy? I can't remember.
No, you can do that in the Reignited trilogy. I'm just saying the original games, you couldn't. In the original, like the first two games, you couldn't hit any NPC that was around. Well, okay, obviously not in the first one because the NPCs usually just don't just stay around, you know. But you know, I think what would have been cool, it probably would have caused the game to, like, this frame rate to, like, drop a lot, but, like, it would have been nice if they had, like, is that after you free the dragons from after you free the dragons in Spyro 1, like at least in the Reignited trilogy, that, like, you go back to the home world and they're somewhere around there in the home world, you know? Or maybe after you, like, fully completed or something, got everything, they're just hanging around, and they're, respective, you know.
Hey, Sheila, let's play a joke.
Jenny's a nud. Yeah. Now, something I will say though, for some reason, this game has more varied animations for the dragons than the Reignited trilogy. Because in the Reignited trilogy, they mostly use just the same like 4 or 5 animations for each dragon. So while Reignited trilogy is more varied in terms of like some of the NPCs and stuff, when it comes to the dragons, it's the other way around. It's less varied. So, you know, let's see. Whee! Whee! The freaking turtle in this game, like one of the levels of the game, it like the ones where you get like butterflies from it for sparks. Whatever you get it's just like the sound it makes is like something like that.
What?
You don't remember that sound from like the turtle and like the crystal level in this game? Or like with the magicians and stuff and everything's crystal?
To be honest, no, I don't remember.
Well, like you hit it because you know health for sparks. For sparks.
Spartacus is a good boy though.
Yeah.
He's the best boy.
But like you do that and it's like that one's like Argh! But you know like in the turtle's like you're like So I think that I feel like this game is like, for me, I think the order it would go for like my liking of each of these games would probably be either 2-3-1 or 2-1-3. And it's simply because this game has challenges that are unnecessarily difficult or unnecessarily frustrating. Like, not all of them are as hard; they're just irritating to get through, and you know.
After having played through this earlier, like all 3 earlier this year,
Yeah.
I think this one's my favorite.
Well, that's because you don't know how to think. No.
It's just, I think it's just put together a lot better. Like I like 2, but after playing through it again, it does feel really clunky.
But like 2's better because I feel like the difficulty's better. 1 is pretty good because while it's not as varied as these games, it's a lot more straightforward. It's a little more focused than the other 2.
But it's just something about it feels kind of detached. Like
what the
bosses don't feel like bosses.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that's good. I'm just saying
kind of, I don't know. It's just something about it just doesn't play well today, like the 2nd and 3rd one.
Man.
If you ever forget how to...
If you learn how to forget...
It's hot in here. Very hot in here. In fact, so hot, I might be ready to die.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know, I just realized, why was that still there, Sparks? That's a thing about the Reignited trilogy, is that it doesn't... what I'm trying to say here,